days in recent memory of an offseason that has been exceptional. There has been a lot of activity throughout this entire thing, and today was just simply put a cherry on top of what has been a phenomenal 2026 NFL offseason. You see Myles Garrett and his impact immediately. What can we expect from the Los Angeles Rams in 2026? Well, it's going to look like a team that has an identity, getting to the quarterback. And they have, what's up, Lava? How you doing? Good to see you back here. They have the number 4, whatever you call him, in Trent McDuffie, a top 5 cornerback in the National Football League. Now they have the best player in the NFL in Myles Garrett. What's going on, Mr. Roger 967? Good to see you back. What are you seeing in football right now? I know we've got the premise of the trades and Myles Garrett, but curious if there's anything else that you want to get into. Power rankings will be back soon, guys. This was about a one-day sort of news-breaking conversation about the trades that have happened. A couple of signings the New York Giants had. Alicia, good to see you back. Nathaniel, what's going on, Nathaniel? And Nathaniel, make sure you're following. If you're a big football fan, NFL content, 365 days a year, pretty much. So something around there. We've been going live pretty much every single day of the last couple of months as we slowly work our way towards the 2026 NFL and college football season. What's going on, Mike? How do you feel about the A.J. Brown trade? I feel like the New England Patriots have solidified themselves as a top 5 team in the league with that move. Puka Nakua, what's going on? Good to see you, Puka. Football Rams 12. How fired up are you, Puka, about Myles Garrett joining the squad? I think A.J. Brown can still be one of the best 5 receivers in the league. He arguably has been over the last 3 years, or what it's been, 22, 23, 24, 20, the last 4 years with Philadelphia. So if he is that guy with Drake May, you're looking at one of the best wide receiver quarterback combinations in the league. They were a really good defense a year ago. I could be wrong, but did the Panthers trade or no? The Panthers. I did not really see it. James, game over. A heartbreak from James. Cool guy, James. The Bucks play the Rams. I'm scared. I think everybody's scared to play the Rams next year. Because what does it mean? Byron Young, who had 12 sacks a year ago, he's going to be left one-on-one. And a year ago, you could leave Byron Young one-on-one at times. You could leave Jared Verse occasionally one-on-one. But now, if you do, you just cannot leave Myles Garrett one-on-one. I don't even watch, bro. It's that bad. From C, James Hawks got to play in almost back-to-back weeks. By the way, last year was brutal when the Rams and the Bucks squared off on Sunday Night Football. Not the Panthers. They do well against them for some reason. Yep. They almost beat them twice. See you in 2 years, twin. From the Smelts reports, like what? Football is just going to be dominated by the Rams. They could go on what should their regular season record be the next 34 games? 28-6. I've risen. What's up, Kyle Manungai, connoisseur? The Smelts report, make sure that you're following. Over the next 2 years, there's going to be a lot of football content. Hopefully, this show progresses over the next few years, and we engage and we build a community of really passionate fans. From Cody, will Aaron Donald come out of retirement, Cody? I would not count it out. He talked about maybe Micah Parsons coming in and how excited from Alexander. Rams not winning anything. Did you put a bet against that? I mean, the odds were are better now. If you want to go bet against them, so it's more likely that they do win. So if you go against them, you got an opportunity. From Cody, I don't know, Cody. We'd have to ask Aaron Donald, and even so, he probably would not give you an answer. If the Rams look like a Super Bowl team, and November they're 8-2, they're 9-1, and they look like how we think they will be. And Cody Bacon, make sure that you're following. Cody, thank you for the follow. Smelts report. Jeffrey Ransu, I'm a 49ers fan. I think we're apt. Jeffrey Ransu, make sure that you're following as well. Cody, thank you for the follow. Who doesn't want to see Aaron Donald play with Myles Garrett? Everybody wants to see it. And Jeffrey Ransu, thank you for the follow. Say 5 good things about the Jets. All right, they have 3 first-round picks in 2027. They have a very good young running back in Breece Hall. They have cap flexibility moving forward because they don't have Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams contracts to pay. They have very good offensive tackles in Olu Fashanu and Armand Menbu. And they have talent now with weapons to catch the football. Mason Taylor, Kenyon Sadiq, Garrett Wilson, Omar Cooper Jr. So those would be my 5 good things to say about the Jets. as you can tell, and thank you for the follow, James. Or thank you for the follow, A. I appreciate you. And James, I don't want to see it. What happened to Sauce? Breece Hall isn't good from Geno. Respectfully, I feel like I was a pretty good athlete, but I would, if I trained at football my entire life, would not have been the kind of running back that Breece Hall is. I mean, first of all, I'm a little bit taller than what a running back should be. There's a lot more square mass to hit on me than there is Breece Hall, as I'm about 6 inches taller than he is. Did you just say 3 firsts? I did just say 3 first-round picks in the 2027 NFL draft. See? So that's why I can say 5 good things about the Jets. I could say those are 3 really good things about the Jets, having 3 first-round picks in that draft, where if it goes their way, they could have 2 picks in the top 5. If they suck and the Colts suck next year, don't have a healthy Daniel Jones. What about Colin Simmons and Arch Manning? What about Jeremiah Smith and Dante Moore? What about Leonard Moore replacing Sauce Gardner? I think Leonard Moore is better than Sauce Gardner. What's going on, Aiden? Good to see you. Ayo. A_Aiden. Make sure you're following. Good to see you here. 100% from other Aiden. Stole.2 SH1T. 100%. Good to see you here, man. Aiden, make sure you're following. And OBJ, going back to the Giants, if he can be healthy, I'm very curious to see what that looks like. At the least, it's a big market in New York, and there's going to be a lot of eyeballs that are interested in how things turn out. Dante Moore, Dylan Stewart, and some corner for our 3 picks. That would be the haul that can turn you into a contender in 1 year. C+ for the OBJ signing. I can buy that. It's a passing grade, Jacob. I once heard that C+ in college can earn you a degree if you just get all C+. Actually, all C- can, but all C+. Some people do go that strategy. Ryan Platt. Nothing like Miami going to suck. And then Brown to Pats. Yep. A.J. Brown going to the New England Patriots was a move that I had them in the playoff locks category the last couple of weeks, and so many people got on me about it. They didn't believe it. They thought that was far too high, and I continue to defend my decision. Ryan, I am with you that Miami and the New York Jets next season have their sights probably on trying to win 1 game against the Bills and the Patriots between them. I think that would be very good. If those teams combine for 2 wins against those other 2 in those matchups, in those 8 games, I actually think that would be really good. The Jets actually have 0 excuse. They have all the weapons. It's true. Did play for Baltimore and Harbaugh. Yep, that's also true. Browns have talent and will acquire more talent. Yep. They're obviously not playing for 2026. They're looking to be a team that drafts a quarterback next year, that does not need to perform at a high level this year. Are you going to move the Browns down to the bottom in your rankings? I think there should be some definite consideration that the Cleveland Browns are in the race to be the number 1 overall team. And we've talked about it for Cleveland. Like we could be solidifying ourselves with a chance to be the first overall pick if we trade away Myles Garrett. do people remember me talking yesterday at nauseum about how I wanted to see Jared Verse traded and Myles Garrett traded? Why I want to see Myles Garrett traded. For weeks, why I wanted to see Myles Garrett traded, and it goes down, and then people are mystified that a team could trade away their best player, one of the best players of the position that is being paid a lot of money. And my main belief was, MG got man. Of course I can, without a doubt. The missing piece from Dude Watson. That's exactly right. In the same way that Trent McDuffie is as well. And Dude Watson, make sure you're following. Dustin Perry, what's up? You may have to move the Ravens to the lock category. They have 4th best odds to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, Baltimore looks like they should be. I just know that there's a lot of Pittsburgh fans out there that are not going to like that move, that are going to give quite a significant amount of pushback towards me having them there. Oh, MG Gottman, I'm so sorry about that. Prayers up for you. That's awful, and I hope in any way that there's some sort of solace and get a smile out of my streams and in my content. Glad to have you here, brother. These moves the Rams and Patriots made. Yeah, many prayers to you, my guy, brother. These moves the Rams and Patriots made. The trade with Myles happened already, just Nate. Yes, it did. Sports car dude. The trade happened. It's not gone through. Myles Garrett needs to pass a physical. I think there's a lot of people in this chat right now that could pass an NFL physical. He should be able to pass that physical. He is the premier athlete, you could argue, in the entire sport. So he'll be passing that physical, and he doesn't really have any injury history in his past. And my guy, Just Nate, make sure you're following. Please, hopefully, he doesn't pass the physical from James. I know that a lot of NFC West fans, Seahawks fans, Cardinal fans, NFC fans in general are hoping that Myles Garrett somehow, just like Max Crosby, it does not, winds up coming down. But bad decision making by the Rams. They could have drafted Ruben Bain and kept Verse in those picks. But again, to their credit, though, and I like what you're saying, Ruben Bain Jr. is a great player. But K.90770, where would you put Myles Garrett in your rankings in the NFL for the best players? If you had him anywhere out of your top 5 best players in the league, frankly, if you had him anywhere out of your top 3 best players in the NFL, I don't know what to say to you. So you just got one of the best 3 players in the league, and the thought is that it's going to be a draft pick that's outside of the top 24. Guys like Myles Garrett are a once-in-a-decade bunch. I've been talking about Colin Simmons. All this to beat the Raiders from Mason .dnlsn. Mason, make sure you're following. He's definitely a top 5 in the NFL, but then again, versus 5 years younger. Ruben Bain has a high ceiling. Yeah, those guys do. But how many people believe that Myles Garrett in his career total will wind up having more sacks combined than Jared Verse and Ruben Bain Jr.? Myles Garrett versus those 2 guys. I don't think it's going to be that close. Myles Garrett, a lot of people don't know this, but with 15 sacks next year, can move up to the top 8 all-time in sacks. I think Garrett, and we've been talking about this a lot, so I hope we don't go on a little bit too much. I'm excited for Ruben Bain Jr. as well for Tampa Bay. But I think that this team is the best roster I've ever seen on an NFL field. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I'm sure Ruben Bain would have been great with Verse at the Rams. Yeah, he would have. That would have been an awesome move, and maybe that solidifies the future at defensive end because Byron Young had 12 sacks last year. You're going to have to sign him, and that's a move that's coming up pretty soon here for LA. But K.90770, make sure you're following. Zorro Picks. Thoughts on Rams versus Bengals rematch. Bengals bolster defense and AFC picture is still wide open. My thoughts are, like I've continued to say, guys, the Bengals can beat anybody if Joe Burrow is on the field. I really think they would have been way more than enough to secure a spot in the Super Bowl, and I agree with you. I had the Rams as my number 1 team and my Super Bowl prediction, and all of that was before Myles Garrett joining this team. So that tells you my confidence level in LA. Now with him. Rams got marketably worse from Sweet and Dreamy. Not right now. Maybe in the future they could be bad for a couple of years. What do you got, Lava Times? Can I read? So the real question is that are the Rams going 17-0 because they already won the next decade of Super Bowls? I don't know about that. He played flag football, balled out, and wants to come back. Walking on a treadmill, walking on a pad. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Turning an unhealthy activity for the body into a healthy one. That is my marketing ploy. I got to get sponsored by this thing at some point. We're going to make it happen. But Sweet and Dreamy, make sure you're following. Austin Booker will upset the sack record this year. Just trust me. I would give quite a bit to see Austin Booker turn into one of the premier edge talents in the NFL. I would give a lot for him just to turn into Montez Sweat. And Montez Sweat, as much as I love him, Montez Sweat's not one of the best 10 edge defenders in football. He can play like it at times, but that would be incredible. Matter of fact, the Jets could pick up AJ. AJ? AJ who? If they don't make the Super Bowl, it's going to look bad for them, Wicon. And I completely agree. Chris Jones going to get 20 sacks this year. The Jets, no, they won't get AJ Brown unless it's in a couple of years. My thought though, has been the Jets go quarterback in next year's draft in the top 3 picks, and then with the extra capital, go Cam Coleman, Leonard Moore, or one of the edge talents. Because you've got tackle solidified. You've got tight end solidified. Now, defensive tackle, you could go that direction. They picked up Darrell Jackson Jr., but that's not your answer as a star player. We need to trade Garrett Wilson. I mean, you are paying him a lot. I think he's still one of the best 10 receivers in football, though, so I don't know if you need to trade him. But I want them to draft another elite talent there. And Steven Hanselm, good to see you. What do you think about Bijan Robinson? Bijan Robinson is my number 2 running back in football after Gibbs. Derrick Henry's 3, but if you ask me, obviously, who's been the best running back in football, who's the best running back that runs the football, it's Derrick Henry. Adafe Owe will have 15.5 sacks for, remember his brother Otega Owe? What was that? What team was he on? Was he on North Carolina or Kentucky? It was one of those two, right? Owe with 15.5 would be incredible. The said number 2 behind who my stream cut out. What are you saying, Steven? The said number 2 behind my stream? Not exactly sure what's going on there. No way the Giants actually took back Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah, they did. I just saw OBJ went back to the Giants. I got to say, that's a team to watch this season. Maybe not because of OBJ. Certainly more eyeballs will be there. I mean, he always brings eyeballs with him. He's got millions of followers and people that love his game. But Berrios, OBJ, one of those guys, Juju, someone's going to be able to turn into, love the content, keep it up. Thank you, Austin. We're going to keep it rolling. We're going to continue to keep grinding day in, day out, and this is just the off season. Well, wait till the season gets started. More than other editions, but they will be fun to watch. Gotcha. Thank you, Austin. Take care. Have a great evening. Look, Berrios, Juju Smith-Schuster, Odell Beckham Jr., very likely not all of those guys are going to be seeing a decent amount of playing time, but I can guarantee one of them should be one of their starting wide receivers and get a lot of playing time out there. I don't know who it'll be, but it'll be one of them. They obviously are going a direction of depth. Someone please give me an NFL team to rebuild and how with trades and other stuff. You want a young quarterback, a good team to rebuild. I got to tell you, the Cleveland Browns would be a very fun team to rebuild if this is for the long term. because that's a talented roster. Draft capital to work with. The New York Jets are another team that don't have a quarterback there, that are just simply more fun to rebuild, that aren't like in that win now mode. I'd go Browns or Jets. Do it with somebody that hasn't been good in a really long time, or the Browns, who really have respectfully never been good. Wicon, Tennessee. Do you want my thoughts on the Titans? Is that what you're asking there? Who gets Josh Sweat from Preston? Feels like the Green Bay Packers might be bringing in Josh Sweat. A to F grade from controversial. I will give this trade an A for the Rams right now, without a doubt. They have, you could argue the Rams have 3 of the best 10 players in the NFL. War behind black name, where's my mod? I gotta be honest with you. I don't even know how to make that happen. I need to learn how to do things like that here on this app. Controversial, thank you for the follow. I love this trade for the Rams, and I actually really like it for the Browns. You're in fully different directions. You're one team that's competing, one team that's going to be competing in the future that doesn't have a quarterback. But why I love this trade is because it's the opposite of what they did by selecting Ty Simpson. Their fans were upset. They were mad. Ty Simpson, OH. Oh, I got you, Buckeye Nation IO. Man, great to see you here, Buckeye Nation. Great to see you. Myles might finally get that chip. If Stafford is there the next 2 years, the odds are in the favor that he will. We have now seen the power dynamic shift, where one of the premier defensive players in the league is now in the NFC conference. He was our whole defense. You hate this trade as a Cleveland fan. I know, Buckeye Nation, this is the definition of delayed gratification. Suffering now to have a reward later on. The fact that the Jets have 3 first-round picks in the historic 2027 draft, yeah, they can be a fun rebuild, but Philly Eagle, that is why it is so important that they suck next year, so that they don't have to give up all 3 first-round picks to take a quarterback that they could have just taken at 3 over. We said it. I know you've probably heard me say it a lot, but that's why they're going to be fun to rebuild with. General back in L.A., the Los Angeles Rams. And I believe the Rams started out in Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken on that. And back in LA. Yeah, General, make sure you're following. Great to see you here. DPOY, MVP, top 2 receiver, good defense, stadium pressure, great gun. Stadium pressure is underrated. Have you guys been to the sound machine that is SoFi Stadium? And I do mean sound machine, because it's not just like crowd atmosphere like a Rose Bowl, a Coliseum game, Dodger Stadium in the playoffs. No. SoFi Stadium, they pipe in that noise, and your ears feel like they're going to be bleeding after you go to a game there. It's actually wild that the PA throws it to that degree. Mile High has some crazy pulse. Arrowhead, Seattle. So you'd probably say Denver, Seattle, Kansas City would be the top 3 stadiums for loud, you know. I'd probably have to go that direction. For college football, you'd probably go, Autzen, Tennessee, Texas A&M would probably be the 3 loudest. I also hear that Rice Eccles in Utah can crank it up as well. Rams are the only contender now from Aaron. When we have our new power rankings, and we were going to debut them earlier, but we could not run with them because the trades, they affected our rankings. So when we come out with our rankings, we will be debuting the Rams in their own category at the top by themselves. And I will not care what Seattle Seahawks fans, because they won the Super Bowl, but I do not care. Who cares about last year now when you have Myles Garrett on your team? I don't care. Breaking news from Fat Cats. Oh, what's going on? Thank you for being in here. Make sure you're following Fat Cats. We have been suffering since 1966. What's up, Polka Dot? Good to see you in here, my guy. I saw you grinding on here last night. I hope you had a good stream. We've been suffering since 66, so it's nothing new for us. But this is just as bad. Stay with me, Buckeye Nation. You heard me talking about how I wanted this move to happen, right? And thank you for the follow, Fat Cats. I was talking about it. I said I think that they should trade Garrett. I think that the Rams should trade Jared Verse. You're going to have to pay Verse or Young at some point. You can't pay them both. Sort of like the Eagles. Like, are you going to be able to pay Carter and Davis unless you trade somebody? Or they trade A.J. Brown. Maybe they trade A.J. Brown so that they can afford to pay Jalen Carter now because that contract is off your books. That's how these organizations have these long-term conversations. And Cleveland, they're like, we haven't won with Myles. We had a pretty good roster a few years ago when we got beat by the Chiefs in the playoffs. When Mahomes was out of that game and it was down to Chad Henne on a 4th and 1 on a rollout to the right. And they hit that play. I'm sorry to bring that up, Buckeye Nation. Sorry to do that, my guy, but 49ers trading for Verse. I thought you were going to say the Eagles are trading for Verse. That would be hilarious. And Jared Verse getting out of the NFC, so unfortunately we won't see that too often. Wait, Jacob, would you like to do it? What have we got? Trying to make it realistic. Trade for Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson. There was a lot of chatter that the Rams might go trade up for Jeremiah Love, and they decide to use that same capital to bring Myles Garrett. And as much as I would have loved to see Jeremiah Love in a Rams uniform, this is better. This is better having Garrett here. He's one man and not playing every down. Are you talking about Myles Garrett? Have you seen the tape of Cross on Garrett? You're not concerned. You're right. He doesn't play every down. Myles only plays about 80% of the stats, I believe, Ryan. But against Seattle, So Ryan, you're saying that I should not have the Rams in their own category, up on top, above everybody? You think they should still be in the same category as Seattle? I'm curious. Josh Jacobs from. Oh man, I'm gonna stay away from that one, Fat Cats. But you gotta chuckle out of me. Is it just me? I love this trade, but I want to say I get everything favoring them. Yeah, I actually do really like this trade, LaJax. I do. I got you, Ryan. I got you. Ryan, would you say that the Seahawks are better right now or they were better last year? And then tell me, do you think the Rams are better right now or do you think that they were better last year? On both those questions. Let me know what you think. Do you see the Giants receiver room? They have like 15 receivers. I know that they have at least 5. I think I can only name 5 of their receivers. The 3 that just came in there and then Fields and Neighbors. I'm probably forgetting somebody else. Seahawks were better last year. It's not close. Yeah, so I mean that was what I was asking Ryan. I don't know if Ryan put it in here what his thoughts were. With Reek Woolen, Boye Mafe, played well in the Super Bowl and the playoffs. I think both have made the right moves. Yeah, Seattle was aggressive. They took a running back 32nd overall. When people said that there was a bigger gap between Love and Price than there was between Price and Coleman, or Price and Mike Washington, or Price and even Singleton, or Kalen Black, or Allen. Dude, fat Cats, you gotta chill. You gotta chill. Gotta chill. Doesn't matter what the Seahawks are going to go back-to-back Super Bowl wins. All right, Jamie GT. I like your idea, what you and our guy Ryan got right now. He wanted out. He did. He did request a trade a couple years ago. Jamie GT, make sure that you are following. Let me know what you're thinking about the state of the league as it stands after today's moves. I hate to say the Rams look good from James Nelson / T97T on paper, but I have to see them every year. Third place finish from Luke the Duke. Aaron PLA, no. I don't think the Seahawks missed the playoffs up. To be honest, Luke the Duke, I gotta say. I don't believe that they will. I think they're going to make the postseason. The active New York Giants wide receiver room features 14 players. This is from their website. Is it really? Sertan Glazer? They'll have 6 wide receivers is right. Yeah, most NFL teams keep no more than... There's not really a reason to have more than 6 players on your team. You've been wrong before. I have been wrong before, Aaron. I've been wrong many a time. I don't know if you're talking to me, but if you are talking to me, I'll give you that response. I definitely have been. From the great Dell 9679. Odell is old. I don't know if he makes a difference. My initial thoughts are he won't go for over 500 yards this year if he made the roster. But he could make Neighbors better. There could be some advice that he could share with him to get him to a level. Because there was a time when Odell was the best 5 wide receivers in football. There was a time there. Yeah, we all have. This is just another time. No biggie. DeBoer26, good to see you here. Rutherford, collective sigh of relief from the AFC North is right, Rutherford. That is exactly what's happening. The bad man is gone. The boogeyman is out of the closet and out of the house. Rutherford, he's out of there. He is now going to torment somebody else. Just like the New York Knicks, there's no Michael Jordan to beat them. He beat them 5 times in 8 years in the playoffs, and the one year the Knicks did beat the Bulls was when Jordan was playing baseball for the Chicago White Sox. So it's like having a guy like that out of the division. Now, Myles Garrett hasn't beaten anyone in the playoffs, 0 playoff wins in his career, but now we have an expectation that is going to be changing pretty soon here. I think that it's going to be huge. Thank you, Aaron. This is the only sports page I engage on with live. Man, that really means a lot to me just because I'm trying to get more people like you, Aaron, that have a voice, and they really love football and sports in general, and they want to find a creator that they maybe don't agree with all the time, can have a lot of disagreements, but they are able to have a conversation with. Sometimes it's just coming to the table. You don't have to agree with everybody. You don't have to love what someone is saying, but it's hearing other people out, other perspectives. Like, I'm going to be wrong a lot. If you're right in the sports betting realm, 52% of the time, you're going to do extremely well. And that's kind of what most people in sports try and do. But that just means you're right. You're wrong 48% of the time, right? Could you see PGH trading TJ Watt like this? I don't think that they're going to feel that kind of return. Does anybody remember when Colin Cowherd said that he would trade TJ Watt in 3 firsts for Caleb Williams? And people said that was crazy. I didn't. I thought that was the value what Caleb Williams would have provided. And now it looks like Pittsburgh, if they made that decision, would actually not be in too bad of a spot if they did make that move a couple years back. What do you got the Packers doing, Hunter? I have them going 10-7 next year. Being a wild card team, 6 for the 7 seed once again for Green Bay. Yeah, what did I say I think so, 11-6 for Seattle next year. Marco Man, no, he said 3 first Pickens. He said Pickens in what? No. It was not for Shedeur Sanders, Marco Man. He said Pickens and 3 firsts. Watt for Shedeur? Could be Marco Man. In Marco Man 03, make sure you're following. Awesome to have you here. Illy Sky. Do you have the Niners or Rams winning the division? The Rams. Not even if the Niners have everybody on the field, I'll still have the Rams. Just reminds me of the 2021 NFC title game. Like, this team is simply better, too, than that team. I know they had a big year from Kupp, but Adams next year versus OBJ back in 2021, this is just a better Rams team. And Illy Sky, make sure that you're following. Dan the Man fan club leader. What's up, Dan the Man? What are you thinking about football right now? You are a dub streamer. Thank you. I would take a full bow, but I might end up with my face on a treadmill, so we will not do that. But thank you, Hunter. Dan the Man, fan club leader. Make sure you're following Illy Sky. Thank you for the follow. Braves gonna win it all, Hunter Baker. Hunter, I think you know a little bit that I just don't follow baseball like that. I'll do a baseball take or a video every now and again, but they could. I've been to a couple of Dodgers Braves playoff games. I believe I've been to some of those. Evan Ivelia, shalom, my brother. Rams gonna win it all. Shalom, right back to you, Evan. The Rams do like they are gonna win it all. My uncle works in the Valley, and his office overlooks the Rams practice facility, and he sends me video clips all the time of them practicing. But no, this summer though, I'm gonna have to get up to Chargers training camp and then get out to the Rams training camp, get some actual hands-on and up-close footage of Myles Garrett at training camp. Any news on Josh Jacobs? Really not much. I think that we're expecting a suspension to be on the way, though. This is the most scripted trade of all time. They're clearly setting up the Rams to win. JJ, if we know the NFL, it is making things look obvious that winds up being surprising. So that could be an expectation. People are like, this Rams team is unbeatable. And then we see Matthew Stafford go down with an injury. Remember Aaron Rodgers? People were scripting Aaron Rodgers. Third play of the season, he tears his Achilles. So I don't want that to happen for Stafford. But look, he's still an older guy, and that is a way that the Cleveland Browns turn their organization around. And instead of the 28th pick or the 32nd pick in the 2027 draft, they get the 11th pick in the draft because the Rams don't have their starting quarterback. It's not impossible. Just look at the Colts. Best team in the league, and 3 weeks later, no Daniel Jones. And the New York Jets go from what projected to be 32nd overall to 16th in the draft and turns into Kenyon Sadiq. But JJ Shephead, make sure you're following. All this Sands Arnold, SMH, Eli Brennan, make sure that you're following. This is genuinely probably the best team of all time from Eli. I would agree. There have been iconic teams, like the Ravens team that won in, what was that, 98, I want to say? There has been the 85 Bears. There was the undefeated Patriots team that lost in the Super Bowl, which I actually do consider to be a top 5 team, even though they didn't win it. I honestly think football is going to be some of the most enjoyable football we've ever seen next year. Guys, remember the Rams and how good they looked for so much of the year? And they had a weird loss to Carolina. They had a weird loss to the Falcons. They blew a 16-point lead with the football in less than 10 minutes. So football may look scripted, but absurd results can happen. Who would have thought that the Falcons would beat the Bills last year on Monday Night Football? Who would have thought the same Rams team that ran the Bucs out of the building on Sunday night would wind up losing to Atlanta? What's going on? Good to see you. I don't know, Caden. Great to have you back in here. The Survivor Sports Cat Dad. The NFC saving grace is at least they didn't keep Jared Verse. That's true. That's a bad man. That is a future competitor for Defensive Player of the Year. And now it's him and possibly Will Anderson Jr. taking the, what do you call it? Taking the torch. Survivor Sports Cat Dad, make sure you're following. I agree with you. Jared Verse is an unbelievable talent. I loved him at Florida State, and it's too bad to see him and Braden Fisk broken up. But for Myles Garrett, I think a lot of people are going to be okay. A.J. Brown to the Patriots is the kind of move that solidifies New England as a contender for at least 3 or 4 years. Roasted Coyote. What's going on, Roasted Coyote? Ryan Lee, them Rams games gonna go crazy. They sure are, Ryan. What's up? Good to see you. Ryan, what's the most interesting thing that you've cooked up in the last week? Let me know. Something fun that you've dished on. Myles Garrett in a Rams uniform, Ryan? Are you kidding me? KB, Browns have two first round picks for a quarterback next year. They do, KB. They do. We're fired up about it, KB. Are you a Rams fan, KB? Or I'm excited. And KB, make sure that you're following. Are you kidding, Ryan? You know that we're never joking about about football, my guy. You know that there's zero sarcasm. I think that the Rams, I had them winning the Super Bowl before this happened. I had them at number 1 in my pair power rankings winning the Super Bowl, and then they add the best defensive player in football. Like, no, there's no joke. Do you think Aaron Donald is coming back? I would love to see it. I'd be fired up to see Aaron Donald come back. She's just gambling in a sport. I got you. There you go. Rams Super Bowl bet would have been a lot nicer to place yesterday before today. When his jersey comes out, it will be sold out. There's no doubt in my mind. Rip my boy Jared, get the Lombardi in your memory for Chicano Batman. Yeah, it does look a lot more likely that he doesn't in his career now going to Cleveland. We'll pour one out for our guy, Chicano. And Chicano Batman, make sure you're following Saints. Both teams won this trade. I like that take. The Rams win this trade now. The Browns win this trade in 5 years from now with the draft capital that they acquired. And Saint, make sure that you are following. Don't worry, Patriots are going to take it all. With A.J. Brown, I'm not going to doubt him. What? He could be a top 5 receiver in the league next year. The Laughlin House with Let's Go Rams. Whose house? Laughlin House. Make sure you're following Laughlin House. Davis, Rams got better, but gave up a huge haul and aren't exactly filling a role. No, you're right. They're not filling a role. They're just good or better besting. Right? They're good, better, best, never let it rest. So they're good, just got better, and they're better, just got best. So now that they add Myles Garrett, they're at their best. This is peak, folks. This is as peak a roster construction as you can get for the current term. And my man Davis, make sure that you are following. Awesome to see you here at Laughlin House. Thank you for the follow. I got you. Do you think if we see a max effort, Mahomes, Walker, Rashee, Worthy, Kelsey, what do they got? Also, Mansour Delane, Chris Jones, Peter Woods, or Mason Thomas, that the Chiefs could be restored? I have no doubts. I have zero doubts about that happening if Mahomes is healthy. All of that is on the table for them next year. Browns are cooked now, and Rams are going to the NFL, are going to win the Lombardi. Jax, I think I know what you're saying, that the Browns are going to be competing for the number 1 overall pick, which means they could get a quarterback, though, next year and get a franchise guy. My guy Jax, make sure that you are following. Love the content, Blender. Keep it up. Thank you, Ryan. Great to see you. Hear my man supporting. We are going to keep it up. We've been going live every day, and we're going to keep rolling all of this momentum into the season. And I cannot wait to see what the Rams look like, what USC looks like, and actually get on site to see everybody on the field. Davis, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. My 49ers still putting BTA. That means belt to ass, everybody, so you know. That's what BTA means, if you didn't know. I know that there's a lot of individuals sometimes in my chats that are older that aren't aware. That's what BTA means. They could. They beat them last year with Mac Jones. I'm not going to doubt him. I've made that mistake already. _DXVIE30. Make sure that you are following Casey Esslinger. Parton, no, they didn't in the long run versus better. You think Aaron Donald is going to come out of retirement, Casey Esslinger? I don't. But if we get to the middle part of the year and the Rams do truly look like a 9-1, one of those 11-2 kind of teams, we could hear that news update. I mean, he sure looks like he can play. He's only, 35? He's in shape. He's in better shape than Jared Verse is now. People are like, he's 35. Garrett's 30 years old. Have you guys seen Aaron Donald and working out with Jared Verse? The dude was in better shape than a 24-year-old. Come on now. So my guy Casey Esslinger, make sure you're following. I think he said he's not coming out. And that's what I mean, Jonathan. Like, I don't think he is going to. He's talked about how happy he is. Body feels good. Doesn't need to hit his head anymore and have the possibility of injuries and being out of the game and getting back. He could be fresh. And thank you for the follow, Jonathan. I appreciate you. That is the thing about it. is sometimes guys step away from the league and actually their body is ready to get back to it. I remember Brian Urlacher said that actually about 2 years out of the league. He was shocked and amazed at how good his body felt. Felt like he could play, but that the Chicago Bears just didn't want to pay him. And that was one of the more famous moments that an all-time player for an organization did not do right by one of the ultimate captains, one of their better all-time players. Absolutely disgraceful from Chicago on that side of things. There's talks about it, KC. There are, my man Casey Eslinger, there are right now. There are a lot of talks about the possibility of it. I would love to see Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett together. I had a year where I had Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald, and TJ Watt on my same Madden franchise team. Essentially, it was one of those leagues where you're able to have a player that you bring back to 20, and it was Rob Gronkowski. Somebody traded me Myles Garrett, was like 96 overall for a prime Gronkowski, and we made that trade. I acquired TJ Watt, and that team was pretty unbelievable. I wound up getting beat in the divisional round. He was unstoppable when getting double teamed. If he came back, teams would double Myles Garrett, leave him one-on-one. They double Donald, they leave Garrett one-on-one. Yeah, you're looking at 5 sacks a game. What's 5 times 17, everybody? 34, 68. That's 85. That would be 85 sacks. They could set a record. I'm predicting that Myles could break his record next year. When a lot of people are overlooking is that with the Browns, they didn't have a lead. They weren't leading in the fourth quarter. Teams could just run the football, run the clock out. With the Rams could have a lead. Somebody's down by 14 points. Chicago Bears trying to get comeback. That's when you're in shotgun. You throw the ball the whole rest of the game. We could see Myles Garrett break that record and get like 26 sacks next year, and I would not be surprised. My guy underscore DXVIE30. Make sure that you're following Jose Rodriguez. Ask me a quick question, Jose. And Jose, make sure that you're following. Myles getting 10 sacks versus the Cardinals alone. Man, I wonder what the over-under for that game is going to be. My imagination would be that it's going to be something like 1.75 for that game. I can't recall if I've ever seen a player prop that was actually at 2 sacks for a game. I don't know if I've ever seen that. What's up, Nico Collins? James Nelson, you like Jeremiah Smith? Why do you like Jeremiah Smith? Are you a fan of the Buckeyes? Do you just like good football players and watching good football? I'm curious about that. There's a lot of people that don't like Jeremiah Smith, that they just like to hate on very talented young players. It's something that happened with Patrick Mahomes a lot. People just like to hate on Mahomes' 3 Super Bowls, 7 straight AFC title appearances. But James Aaron Dennis Holt coming out of retirement could be. If there's anyone that could do it, like it's Tom Brady and it's Aaron Donald to do it. Levi Jensen says JJ is the greatest wide receiver to ever touch a ball. Have you seen him play, Levi Jensen? Have you gotten to see him play in person? Could not recommend it any higher. Levi Jensen being at that Rose Bowl game, it was one of the more surreal experiences watching a 19-year-old dominate. Game was over at halftime. They were up. What was it? Was it 34-0? Was it 34-0? I think it was 34-0. 34-8 at halftime. Pretty remarkable. But Levi Jensen, I fully agree with you. Make sure that you're following Levi Jensen. All right, guys, we are going to be hopping off the live in the next 2 minutes. We thought we would come on here for about an hour and a half. It's been about that amount of time. Has been a lot of fun. If you have not subscribed on the YouTube, please make sure to do so right now. Kenny Anderson, if the Rams can get Diggs or Debo for the wide receiver 3, they can become almost unstoppable. I think, Kenny, that they might actually be there right now. But the plan is, guys, to have about 5 hours of streams, maybe even 6 coming your way tomorrow Wednesday, Thursday. So we may be hopping off. No, from I don't know, Caden. We gotta hop off. But before we do hop off, underscore DXVIE, make sure that you're following. Just came in. Okay, Nico Collins, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be streaming tomorrow. So we're going to hop off right now. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, guys. Thank you so much for all the support.